Hey, I'm Lou Ann Overman and welcome to another free art lesson. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a dandelion. I started out with masonite siding that I coated with the GAC 100. I coated it 3 times, drying between each time, and then I used white gesso and I coated it 3 times, drying between each time. When it was completely dry, I took a 1.5 inch brush and I just wet kind of a crucifix shape, and then I began to charge color in there, and I used 4 colors and charged them in there, and then I tilted my board and just kind of allowed it to paint itself, and I was satisfied that it looked right. I laid it down and let it dry flat. As soon as it's completely dry, you can begin painting the dandelion, and all you're using is just water. And the way you do it is you wet your brush. I'm using a number 3 round, and I get the excess water off so I have a good thin line, and I just pull the brush through maybe 2 or 3 passes, and then press it with tissue, and they'll lift your color back to the white gesso, and that's what's doing the dandelions. If you get too much water, the lions become really thick. And I'll show you how we do these little florets. Basically, one at a time. This is a little tedious, but it's well worth it. This might even be a good way to paint fireworks. And you just re-wet your brush, make sure your brush is clean, and you see there's hardly, it would feel dry to the touch. If you're not getting it back to the gesso as much as you need to, this aqua cover is good to whiten it up just a little bit and still keep it soft. I used aqua cover a little bit in this really strong area because this magenta did not lift as well as some of these other colors. And you can see when I'm doing the little floret, I'll show you one. I'll just put a little circle there, press it with a tissue, and get my excess water out. All I'm doing is passing this brush over these watercolors 2 or 3 times. The watercolors are really bright because they sit on top of the gesso. Now I'm going to draw a stem to the large part. There. So it gives you some idea how to do that, and I'm going to show you how I did the stem. I have a little bit more water on my brush because I need a wider area. And I'm just going to pass 2 or 3 times. I'm just lifting. And you see the color comes right up, and you start coming back to the white of your gesso. And then you just simply add some color. Take some of this olive green. And then I'm going to blend it. Take a a little more olive green on the outside edge. So it has a highlight in the middle and it looks a little bit rounded, like a stem. I want the center to be really light. All right, and then you just start working on your floret some more. I'll do one more. I'm just putting a dot of water down, pressing it with the tissue, taking my excess water out of my brush so I'll get a nice thin wispy line. Dandelion's almost done. Thank you for joining me, and check out my website at www.brushmarksbylouann.com. Thank you.